So you guys were I'm hearing a lot of you guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that, and when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So, it's shorter. There you go. Crazycatlady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and entertainment purpose. Hi, everybody, Martha here. So that's got them reading Clairvoyant, the last story of the third Tales Plzzaplex. That one. So this means that Cleithrophobia. I always have a hard time saying like these different phobias, but basically the fear of being trapped. It's not the same exact thing as claustrophobe, but they're kind of similar. But so this one, it has a little time skip, but they also have like little parts at the beginning of it, or begins 5 months before, and has to do with Kim and Cole are walking around our employees at the Plzzaplex who are checking on things, and they're like mentioning stuff from the other stories. Like they mentioned the part from Instruction, where they saw the VR part, and that showing that what happened to Maya and Instruction was just a simulation. They also passed Habs and stuff like that, and they also passed two kids who were walking around exploring and going on roller coasters, and they're just checking to see if everything's working and stuff like that, because 5 months before, a guy named Gabe, who has claustrophobia, and his job to check on this tube area. It's kind of like a maze, where you have to stretch and stuff like that in order to get out and stuff like that. And they have Ballora there, because that's what it says right here in the last part. Before they go back in time. They mention Ballora, and then they go back in time. This is 5 months before this incident, before Cole and Kim checking on everything. It's called Ballora Fit and Fluff and Fit. Like you go to exercise, stuff like that, and you're like folding in quarantine and stuff like that. But not everybody can be as flexible. Those people who contort their bodies everywhere. So yeah, and Gabe is checking the spot where he goes through the tubes and stuff like that, and because of his job, and he can't quit because he needs the money. Typical. And so he sees Foxy. Mentions Foxy in here too. So and Foxy this is too creepy, he says, and he goes and works on his spot. Roland tells him do the Ballora one. Hold on, you gotta pause this. Alright, so they're in. And he goes and checks on the spot where Ballora is. And there's also some filler in here, but mostly he goes in there and Ballora, he checks to see like which stuff is everything working and stuff like that. Then Ballora shows up and tells him, where's that line? Trying to find the right page. And she likes singing. She's a lot more scarier than she is. And that last story she showed up in, I wanted to answer something like that. And she is, all right, here I come. All right, Ballora, here I come. Then Ballora shows up, and Ballora's mostly singing during this part, and like forcing um, Gabe, Gary um, into the tube, even though he doesn't want to go. She keeps on telling him, go in, and stuff like that, and like it's supposed to be more adult, more kid side and not adult side. So adults are not meant to be in here. And I think there was like an early incident where somebody threw up during like a rocket ride, so it was going too fast. So and eventually he goes in there even though he doesn't want to, and he gets stuck eventually. Wanting, he also wants to drink water, so he tells them maybe put water fountains in there, but they have to take it apart and put pipes in there if they wanted to do that. So the person who designed this wouldn't want to do that. Too much work. And so Ballora gets him unstuck, hurts him, nearly locates one of his arms. He tells her to go in there again, and so he has to. And the same thing happens again, except for this time she actually grabs his arms and dislocates his arm and some fingers, and like tries to like put fist and like struggle against it, stuff like that. And then we go to the end of the story where I'm mostly just giving you a summary about it, not telling you everything. We're rolling and Kim, I think. Where is it? Okay, Roland and trying to see who else is here. T-A-T-E. Tant. So, Roland and Tant both have to go and get, one of them's like getting Gabe's keys and stuff like that. And they walk up to where he was held. And one of them mentions that he had his fear, Cleithrophobia, and clarifies it for people who don't know what it means, reminding the reader. And they find him, and man, we find the page, and they're also talking about Karen, who I think is either a sister or a girlfriend, and one's afraid about it because they're afraid of because reporters got onto the last report, and they don't want that to happen again. So this is what happened. This is what's left of Gary. Gary's remaining eye watched his co-workers and disappear around the corner in the yellow hallway. He wasn't able to hear everything Roland and Tant said, even though his ears still worked. It was so... There was only one body part of him was voiding massive cannon lobs, and the tubes were taunts that mutated the sound. He had, however, heard enough. Gary had wanted to cry even more than he already had when Terrence had prophesied that Gary was paralyzed. But if only Gary had broken his spine. This is somehow he had never ended. The finding total of his body, flopping matter, and constant suffering. Gary couldn't hate his co-workers for leaving him to die. He's probably done the same thing if it had been in their place. He needed their job just as badly, but he wished they stayed with him just a little bit longer. Ballora, who been silent, pushing Gabe the whole time that Roland and Tense had been standing there, talking, spoke up. "You're stuck. I will help you." She yelled harder. Gary seriously wet spine was too correct in the two ways of pain. Through Gabe's arms, cable through the arm, whole body, and Gary couldn't even protect the system, even though he could have nothing. He was dying. The only companion he had was Ballora. He wouldn't send her away, but for anything. But if Gabe had died trapped in his worst nightmare, he didn't want to be alone. Even Ballora could. Cold, unfeeling glint is better than nothing. Ballora spoke up one more time. "You're stuck. I wanna help you." So, the way that she they just whoever programmed her, who obviously is probably William Afton, but did not have her thinking that, oh, I'm gonna hurt this person, yada yada yada. So when I'm unfolding them and getting them unstuck, she's just gonna make this situation worse. So basically, yeah, because now he is, like he had said, he said the only thing that was working, that was his ears. He's not dead. He's paralyzed. He's probably paralyzed, and he's hurt and stuff like that. And now he is left to die because his one of his co-workers didn't want to call the police because it would get them in trouble, and then they would get fired, and then the journalist will write it down about what happened to Gary. So, yep, it's a sad ending. What story in this is not? These are not. And actually, I kind of like this one better because this one and the other one, You Want to Dance, Ballora was not scary. In this, she's actually scary because she is putting somebody through agonizing pain and not caring at all about it. So, this one was a lot better than that one. So, whoever wrote this, the person who wrote this one, put a lot more thought into making Ballora actually scary. Good job. So, the next thing we're gonna do is read the epilogue. But I also got the next story, the next book, the Tales. I got let me look how to say this word. Okay, Plzzaplex, never fear one. So, no one based off of fear. Except for this one is a fear of a man-made object, and creation of full of water. So basically, you're trapped inside a water thing, and you're afraid of being drowned. You're afraid of drowning. Okay, I can relate to that. So, and there's a mermaid one. So, I mean, it's kind of right. So this would be another water thing. One. So unlike the shark, this one actually didn't get canceled. So everyone can read it. Yay. The only reason I read the shark one was because I listened to it on an audio. I don't have a copy of it. Otherwise, I have to buy the whole entire set again. So let's see how this one does. Well, first I'm gonna read the epilogue. Then I'll read this one. So I'll see you guys. Alright guys, before we end this video, I decided that we're gonna have that apparently a new picture got revealed for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and it is the sign that's gonna be on there, even though this one takes place in the 90s. Every single thing has different continuities when it comes to this stuff, so I'm not surprised if it's different from the games and the books. I just want to have a good movie. It doesn't have to be perfect. Alright. So let me make the screen a little bit bigger. It's called Freddy Bear Pizza Place. Either it's not done. The sign's not done being painted, but they might have given Freddy gloves, which is why would you get mad about this? They're just gloves. Oh, he doesn't wear gloves in the games or in the books. Whoop de doo doo da da day. I think they were trying to, right here. What they're trying to do is make it look like the style they're trying to do. It makes it looks like the Chuck E. Cheese style of sign. And as a person who went to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid during the '90s, I think I like it. The gloves. The gloves are fine. If they're trying to be like Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, trying to make them look friendly and stuff like that, then it's fine. In the games, remember what you saw in the games were things were beat up, not put together, nothing looked neat. Okay. No, and I mean, so the gloves could have gone taken off, or maybe they were painted different color because how old they were. These things are, but I'm okay. Maybe they want to add a new style, have it still Freddy Fazbear with gloves, wee. So they showed this is them having it somewhat fully made. The sign that they're gonna put on to top of the pizzeria that Mike or William's gonna work at. And they also had like a sign of them showing the background. So that's basically it. Happy they revealed that. So that I'm gonna I'll have it ended. So later, like they're describing on Linux or someone, all you guys are subscribed. And I know I got a whole bunch of people watching my Last of Us video, and so really wish you guys would watch my subscribe to my stuff. So I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.